Once every 6 months, a horrible terror returns. You can't run. You can't hide. You can only watch in terror as it enters your house through your television. It's a new Adam Sandler movie.
What is that, monitor?
Looks like you made that sash from one of your mother's scarves.
There's something off in this town.
We got an unsolved mystery here. I say Marco, you say Polo.
That's right, folks. It's Halloween again. The best time of year in Hollywood. Halloween time brings us vampires, werewolves, zombies, and tons of the most iconic movie villains of all time. And in 2020, October brought us Adam Sandler's Hubie Halloween. So, was this movie a trick or a treat? We just got done streaming it on Netflix, and spoiler alert, now we're gonna tell you all our thoughts on Hubie Halloween. Peach, what did you think about Hubie Halloween?
I have a lot of thoughts about Hubie Halloween. I mean, right from the first, literally the first frame of the movie, you're like, okay, I recognize this. And you realize, okay, this is just going to be a constant barrage of throwbacks, references, and call-outs of other Adam Sandler movies. Now, as I'm trying to sit there and think, is this going to be hilarious or incredibly annoying? You hear it. And what I'm talking about is the worst part of the movie, which is Adam Sandler's voice. It is appalling. It's so bad. I don't know why
it was god awful.
My name is Hubie Dubois, and I am here to tell you that Halloween is fun, but we must stay out of the danger zone.
Why does he keep doing that? Every single person I've talked to about the movie is like, yeah, it looks good. I want to watch a Halloween movie, but I can't get past that fucking voice. And I don't blame them whatsoever. It was awful. Just talk normal. Is that so weird if you just talk normal? But yeah, so right off the bat, I'm out on this movie just right away, and I'm thinking this is the worst movie ever. There's no way it is going to be like Jack and Jill, the worst parts of everything.
Right, it's all downhill.
Yeah, and I'm preparing for that. But, and here's the but, I laughed the whole movie. And yeah.
Yes.
Literally the whole movie, I was laughing, and I didn't this is not a good movie. Let me just say that. It's not a good movie, and it's not one of those movies that's so bad it's good. It is bad, but it's good.
What's your grade?
I'm giving this a brave 8.1.
Brave. That is brave.
I know. I don't regret seeing it. I'm sure as hell not going to recommend it to anyone, at least anybody that I think, I might want them to respect me. and I'm probably not going to watch it again, unless it's just on TV for a second.
This movie was so dumb.
So dumb.
Dude, as soon as I saw Adam Sandler catch 3 raw eggs in his thermos and then drink them right before running into a giant pile of garbage and flipping over his bicycle, I knew this movie was fucked.
Yeah.
I'm with you, dude, 100%. I wrote it off right from the start. Ben Stiller couldn't save it. As soon as I saw him, I got more angry with what I expected for this movie. The beginning leaves you just feeling like it's the stupidest crap that Adam Sandler's ever made.
It does well. It's setting up the lowest possible expectations.
It certainly sets the bar low in the beginning. But every little sequence in the movie was slowly getting a little funnier. Not better, but it was a certain point in the movie when I suddenly realized that Hubie Halloween is just Adam Sandler and all his famous buddies fucking around in Halloween costumes for 90 minutes. And once you get that, the whole third act is a riot. I was dying. I had a few serious laugh out loud moments I want to talk with you about in a second. And also I loved the little twist that they gave you right at the end. I actually did appreciate that and thought it was cool. I'm going to give Hubie Halloween a 6.5. But I do highly recommend it. That movie
What the hell
was a
sense
great
does that
time.
make? A 6.5 that you highly recommend?
Hey, you said it yourself. This movie sucks. I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression, think that they're going to go see a good movie because I liked it. You're going to see a bad movie, but I think you're going to like it too. I might watch it again. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain audience that this is directed at, and it's pretty much me and you and like our buddies, like the people that grew up on Adam Sandler movie. Like, there's literally like joke after joke after joke. It's just like set up like, oh, the Waterboy sheets,
Right?
Oh, that's the character who says like, peeing your pants is cool. I'm Miles Davis. Like, it's just one after the other, and like I said at the beginning, you're like, okay, that's not going to carry this movie. I'm going to need something else, but it carried my attention the whole time. And like I said, I was constantly laughing.
You think the movie's going to lose you because it feels like it's about to halt into a slow, crappy story, but it never does. It actually does keep up. And I thought it even stood on its own without the Adam Sandler character's notoriety. It still was hilarious. I loved the story of Rob Schneider and Steve Buscemi escaping the facility, and the whole movie you're wondering,
being totally indifferent.
Yeah, are these the antagonists? Are these the guys who are causing all the trouble? No, not at all. They're just two fucking weirdos.
Just a red herring.
And I love looking back and thinking about how Steve Buscemi was just running through the woods from place to place the whole entire movie, just going like pretending to turn into a werewolf.
And Rob Schneider was just pissing on shit. Just randomly.
Those guys were hilarious.
Dude, the shirts from his mom are just so hilarious. They just get funnier and funnier. Boner donor, I shaved my balls for this, kayaking gets me wet. Like,
yes. I want to talk to you about the mom. The twist at the end of the movie turns out the mom is a witch.
she is a witch?
The mom is a witch, people. If you missed this is going to blow your mind. In the beginning of the movie, when they're in the witch museum, Hubie says, this was my, in his stupid fucking Adam Sandler voice, oh, this was my great-great-great-great-grandmother. She was a witch. And then right before his mom is about to light everyone on fire, she says, generations and generations ago, your great-great-great-grandmother wouldn't have lived for this. And she's got all the guys up on the stake, and she's going to burn them at the stake. She had the priest hung in the tree. She burned a cross in her front yard. The bitch is a witch. And how does she escape? She just into the darkness. Frankenstein. What did you think about Shaq?
Dude, Shaq was hilarious. Like, that was one of the best bits in the movie, in my opinion. Like, his voice, obviously.
To be honest with you, you don't look like the way I was picturing you.
I guess my radio voice throws people off sometimes.
Yeah, I thought he crushed it. Like, he actually did a really good job acting funny.
It's great.
And I was dying when his wife came in and she's like, hey, baby, what's going on here?
Yeah. And then they Lady and the Tramp that sandwich. Oh, my God.
And they ate the sandwich. My respect for Shaq just shot through the roof. That was so funny.
Yeah, you know he's going to get shit from that from Charles Barkley and the gang.
Yeah, exactly.
But he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude. Shaq is incredible on screen. It was hilarious.
Great Shaq cameo. I've got that. Also, the kissing scene at the end. If they still make those... Oh my God. If they still make those awful MTV Music Video Awards or Movie Awards or whatever, and they had the best kiss category, this has to win if they still do those stupid things.
That was so funny. I love how they just totally hammed it up with all the corniness with that like beautiful woman who's loved Hubie all her life. They just made it as corny as possible. They didn't even try to justify it. And I thought it made it even funnier at the end. Yeah,
there's definitely parts in the movie, like, especially during the beginning, where you're like, okay, he's not even trying. Like, he's not even trying to make this a good movie.
Right.
And I feel like that's a criticism of Adam Sandler, and everyone's like, why does he do it? You see why he does it at the end of the movie when they roll the credits, and it's just like everyone's just having the time of their lives, like fucking around on set, making jokes, and they're all buddies in real life. So they're just like making millions of dollars, just getting their shit straight to Netflix, which is the perfect outlet for it.
Oh my God.
Nobody wants to watch this shit in the theater.
And I loved it too. Dude, and... oh, what's the dude's name from Mean Girls?
Oh, Tim Meadows?
Dude, yeah, Tim Meadows was hilarious. I liked when he was on the stake and he was about to get burned. He goes like, Hubie's got this big head of hair, but I just all my hair fell off. My head looks like a raisin.
Yeah, dude, there's a ton of great lines from the movie. It's it's surprising. It's astonishing. It's incredible.
I also loved when Ray Liotta died, when he's like, I'm going to go sneak up on Hubie and give him the scare of his life. So he comes up behind Hubie and he's like, Hubie, ah! He just gets instantly pulled into the darkness. All right, what would you guess? Because I've already looked at the Rotten Tomatoes scores. What do you think the critics and the audience, whatever you like?
I wouldn't be surprised if the critics were a little bit more forgiving than they usually are to Adam Sandler. I'm going to say 63 for critics.
Okay. What do you think? Audience would be higher or lower?
I think audience is going to go lower, actually. I'm going to bet audience is around 59.
So you're a little optimistic, sir. The critics and the audience both gave Hubie Halloween a 48%.
Oh my God. I mean,
you know what, though? I can believe that 52% of the population hates this movie, but the other 48% must fucking love it. Because if you're into this movie, it really just hits a home run with exactly what you're expecting.
Right. All the while being a bad movie.
Right. And never apologizing for it. Never trying to take itself seriously. Just bombing all the way to the end and letting you laugh all the way through.
Also, I don't know if you know this, it might blow your mind, but that kid, the Tin Man, that's the dude from Stranger Things. The guy that gets stuck in the Upside Down, Will.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny that they had him come through. And of course, the cherry on top for us with this movie was that this movie was largely filmed in Salem and the surrounding towns. And we live nearby, so it's fun to see like our backyard.
Actually, the cherry on top is that my cousin is a background extra in this movie. She's in the cafeteria scene.
What's the cafeteria scene?
Where they all throw shit at him. Well, I guess that's the whole movie.
How many times did they throw a bunch of shit at Adam Sandler?
Oh, that'd be a good Easter egg, yeah.
Probably a dozen. They threw eggs, wrenches. They were driving a car after him.
Ton of shit.
I thought that Adam Sandler's voice was just Sandler playing a joke on us. And he gave it away in that scene when he's talking to Kevin James in the windows going up in the cop car. And it's just a close-up on his mouth going, you got it. I felt like it was just Sandler fucking with us the whole time.
Whatever it was.
He knows damn well.
I don't know. That wasn't funny for me. That was a negative.
The Lombardi's Pizza is doing a sale tomorrow. 1 slice, 1 soda, $1 if you wear a costume to the shop. To me, that's a great deal, but it's also a riot waiting to happen. Well,
that brings me to the part of the show that I've been looking forward to for our Halloween episode. Of course, we have to do a Rushmore. We're going to give you guys our top 4 favorite movies to watch around Halloween time. Start with Peach. Kick it off.
All right, for my number 1, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to go with one of the scariest movies I've ever watched. I also factor into the fact that when I watched it, I was much younger. It is one of 2 movies that I put my jacket over my head in the theaters because I was so scared. It is The Ring.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. That was a classic back then. Like, everybody saw it.
Dude, everyone saw it. It swept the nation. That crazy girl with the black hair falling down the well. It's so fucking creepy. When she got out of the TV, dude, when she got out of the TV at the end of the movie, that's when I freaked out. I was like, holy shit.
She's coming.
All right, what do you got?
I'm going to go with another one that I loved from back when we were kids. Every Halloween, they used to come out with a new one, but the first one's by far the best.
Halloween Town?
I'm talking about Saw.
Nice.
Saw is, as a franchise, it's not that strong, but the first movie is just so incredible. It's like a masterpiece of low budget work and like body horror and psychological twists. What a thrill ride.
I totally agree with you. I had Saw on my list. I'm going to kick it out since you took it, but I'm going to go with a recent movie that was, I thought, excellent. And my big problem with horror is not that I don't like horror. I just feel like it's not done well very often. Now, this was a movie that just checked every box. It was Get Out.
Get out. Sorry, man.
Get out!
Yo! Yo, chill, man. Chill, man. Chill.
I am such a sucker for oldies. I'm like crazy about old 70s and 80s slasher movies around Halloween time. And I think the spookiest one from that time period was A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Please, God.
This is God.
I never really got into those, but makes sense.
Makes sense.
For my pick, since you took Saw, I'm gonna go with something in a similar vein. I'm gonna go with Insidious. Great scary movie. Again, it's not that I don't like scary movies, it's just I'm not scared by a lot of movies because I'm really tough and masculine and
pretty cool.
Sexy.
Like if you're not afraid of scary movies, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but Insidious, that scared me. And I don't have the excuse of being younger. I watched it like a couple years ago.
No, Insidious was legit spook.
Yeah,
I gotta put a legit spook on my list too. A movie that absolutely knocked my pants off, Hereditary. That movie was super spooky. I think it had some of the scariest visuals of any movie. It didn't have to jump with the music or anything. Just by showing you something on the screen, it made your heart stop.
Okay, I haven't seen that one, so I'll have to check it out. For my last pick, I'm gonna go with probably the first scary Halloween movie that I ever saw. I had it on VHS. My brother bought it and I watched it growing up. Came out in 1996. It's a classic. You know what I'm talking about. Scream.
Oh, Scream's a great one.
Yeah.
Endlessly parodied upon, even though it was a parody itself.
Pretty much. Amazing cast, stacked, fun, doesn't take itself too seriously, and total 90s nostalgia.
Yeah, and directed by Wes Craven, the director from Nightmare on Elm Street. For my last pick, I'm going to go with a movie that just oozes Halloween spirit. I don't think many people have seen it, but I wish more people did.
Halloween Town 2?
No, not Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. I'm talking about Trick or Treat. If you ever catch this one streaming, it's so much fun. It's kind of like an anthology movie where you watch 5 different short horror Halloween stories happen simultaneously, and then the latter half of the movie shows how those stories have all intersected. Some characters influenced each other earlier on in their stories, and there's so much classic Halloween goodness in it. I think if any movie's gonna get me in the mood, it's Trick or Treat.
Now, I have to throw on some honorable mentions. Idle Hands is a hysterical 90s movie. Google Idle Hands, watch it. It's actually free to stream right now on Crackle, so it's the dumbest movie ever.
So bad it's good.
So bad it's great. Another one, Paranormal Activity and The Sixth Sense. Just great kind of scary movies.
Paranormal Activity was just like Saw. They started coming out every Halloween, and they kind of took the reins from Saw for a while in terms of stupid, dumb sequels endlessly repeating for every Halloween.
Like the same fucking thing, yeah.
Yeah. My honorable mentions, as I mentioned, I love slashers from the 70s and 80s. I think they kind of paved the way for how we see horror today. And my quintessential 3 would be Halloween, the original, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. That was the best one they made, folks. And Clive Barker's Hellraiser, which is an awesome movie, still to this day, holds up really well. All right, well, let's end the episode with some recommendations like we always do. Let them know what we're watching and what we're gonna watch.
All right, why don't you go first?
All right, so this week for my recommendation, I'm gonna hit you with a spooky movie. Of course, probably one of my favorite Netflix original programs ever, a movie called The Ritual. It's about a group of college friends who go on a hike through Scandinavia to get away from some past traumas that they all went through, only to find themselves lost and stalked by an ominous presence. It's extremely spooky. If you're looking for a movie that will actually scare you, The Ritual is a great choice.
Okay, that was in my queue because you've been talking about it. I was actually going to watch it. It's a Netflix original?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. However, I don't think Netflix originally produced it. I think they just bought it from whoever the producer were.
Yeah, I think that's what they usually do. Like all these Netflix originals, I think that's what they actually are.
Right.
Most of them.
Netflix is kind of like just a film acquisition company, really.
Yeah, I mean, honestly now.
For my queue, I'm queuing up a movie that I've been really excited to watch this Halloween, Train to Busan. I heard so much about this movie, and it has like a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes. For a horror movie, that's unheard of. It's a South Korean film about a train that is absolutely chock full of zombies. I'm in.
For me, I am going with a movie that I just watched on Hulu for my recommendation. It's called Villains. It was directed by Robert Olson and stars Pete Sarsgaard, who was in It. So it's really good, actually. It's a nice little snapshot of a 90s storyline. Yeah, I recommend it. Check it out.
Sick.
In my queue is a TV show that I've been watching recently called Succession. It's on HBO Max. It stars Brian Cox, and I'm right at the finale. It's not something I'm recommending, but it is in my queue, so I want to tell you guys about it. I'd say it's just good enough for me to keep watching one of those movies or TV shows.
Well, I hope all of you are still watching. Hey, are you still watching? Then you should hit that subscribe button and help us hit our legendary world record of 50 subscribers on YouTube. Whoa. We're going for the gold, baby! And come back soon to check out our spoiler-filled review on Peach's favorite movie of all time, City of God.
Boom.
Around your kitchen door, you better not let him in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London.